First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao-Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zeng Kong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dukden Dorji. Homage to the 3 jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice today. Of the western realm of utmost bliss, Sukawati's Amitabha Tathagata. And his attendants, Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva and Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva. Sumo Tanzen Katso Tutan Siddhi. All Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do?
아이스테르 샤랑에 오라미코 게게로모초 스코인 이지바 기모지 주미 야비 브림브림 konbanwa.
I remember I have said many times that Sakyamuni Buddha, when Sakyamuni Buddha was alive and gave Dhamma teaching, at the beginning he always said, human life is suffering. So he spoke several truths, because living in this world actually happiness is very short-lived and the moments of sufferings are extremely long. So here not only that human lifespan is limited, seriously speaking, time is also very short. So let me share this. You think that 2000 years is very long. And now 2000 years have passed for another 20 years. So we used to think that 2020 is very far, but now we realize it's already 2021. Once we thought that we will age. It's far away. Aging is far away. But now we think that youthfulness was a long time ago. Time passes swiftly, extremely fast. Now, half of our lives have passed. Don't say again that there's many other opportunities in the future, that it is really quite rare and precious. So cherish the moment and take good care of your health. Live every day with joy and happiness. This is for all the fellow disciples, old classmates, old colleagues, old friends. Now it's July 2021 already. And 2021 has gone half a year. So the Buddha said, suffering, emptiness, impermanence, and no self. These are all the ultimate truth. Human life is suffering. Human life is also empty. Human life is also impermanent. And lastly, human life has no self. Eventually, nobody will remember. That we have once lived. So we cherish every day and live it with happiness. Live it happily. Capture the moment each day and decrease the creation of karma. Try not to create karma and increase our merits. This is what the Buddha taught us. Actually, Amitabha Buddha can have infinite light and infinite life. It's because he practiced all kinds of good deeds, good actions. Without good deeds, without completely eradicating bad thoughts from our hearts and minds, there will not be infinite life and infinite light. Now we will do question and answer. Asked by Lian Hua Ya from Malaysia. Homage to the most precious, most compassionate, and most unsurpassed Guru. I heard, Guru, you said that a deceased person registered for primary supplicants in your Dharma ceremony will receive your bardo deliverance and guidance to leave behind suffering and obtain happiness and being reborn in the Pure Land. Although I am in my 50s, I know that life is impermanent. I wish that at the moment of death, I can receive Grandmaster's guidance to be reborn in the pure Buddha land. So, Guru Buddha, may I register myself as a primary supplicant in the hope that when I die, Grandmaster can guide me to be reborn in the Pure Land? Thank you. The answer is very simple. Sure. Because Grandmaster's Yidam, or personal deity, is Amitabha Buddha. Golden Mother, Amitabha Buddha, and Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Amitabha Buddha and Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva and Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva are the Pure Land Trinity. And Amitabha Buddha is the Buddha of the guiding Buddha. In the future, Grandmaster will pass first, and I will go to the place of Amitabha Buddha. And I will pay attention to Lian Hua Ya from Malaysia. The affinity that you planted to be reborn in the Pure Land, then one day you will naturally be reborn into the Pure Land. The Pure Land Trinity will appear and guide you to be reborn in the Pure Land. Because if your thoughts are on the Western realm, on Amitabha Buddha, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and Mahastama Bodhisattva, they will naturally appear and guide you to the Buddha land and Pure Land. There will not be any problem. That's my answer. Asked by Lian Hua Jia from Taiwan. Homage to Grandmaster, peace with you. Recently, I have this feeling that I would like to ask Grandmaster. When I'm still alive, other than the daily practice, I also like to accumulate merits for the heavens. So, may I make Ushnisha Dharani spirit paper into big lotus, Dharma boat, or write my own name on the true Buddha Joss paper and burn them for myself after I die, because I'm worried that after my death, nobody would burn lotus or true Buddha Joss paper for me. Is this appropriate? Also, would true Buddha Joss paper have problems with inflation? To accumulate merits for the heavens by doing the daily practice is the same as accumulating the heavenly merits. And if you make big lotus, dharma boat, writing your own name, those are also the heavenly merits. And one more thing, the Buddha once said, never do any evils, always do good. These are precepts, moral ethics. Never do evil, that's a precept. Always do good, that's to save or accumulate the heavenly merits. What is the precept? Let me tell you something simple. Precepts are like when we drive on the road, the red light and green light. When you encounter red light, you should stop. When you encounter green light, then you can continue. Those are precepts. If you encounter red light, but you still ignore it, then that's the end of you. So green lights are the same as good, you can do it. Red lights are bad, never ever cross or pass through the red lights. This is a precept, a very simple analogy. Heavenly merits. Whenever you do good deed, that's your heavenly merit. You do daily practice, that's the heavenly merits. And additionally, big lotus, dharma boat, true Buddha Joss paper, they are all heavenly merits. Remember, as a Buddhist practitioner, we want to benefit ourselves and benefit others. You benefit yourself and others. You benefit others, that is generating compassionate heart or good heart. These are all heavenly merits. So in Buddhism, we have the path of merit accumulation. That's to accumulate the heavenly merits. So let me tell you, the true Buddha Joss paper, will it have inflation? In the world, it's possible, because the papers, the price of the papers have increased, so it would be inflated. Now we have inflation. Things that you can buy with a certain dollars, with a few dollars, now it costs over $10, over $20. things that you used to buy with $10, now you need $100. So we have inflation in the world. But the heavenly merits are the merits that can allow you to go to the Buddha land and Pure Land. It's the same for heavens mentioned in other religions. You also need these kinds of merits. And these kinds of merits will not change, will not have problems with inflation, because they don't belong to the world. Only then they are considered the heavenly merits. Most of the heavenly merits are intangible. That's the answer to the question asked by Lian Hua Jiayu from Taiwan. Second, may I record the golden 8 hours of hospice care for myself when I'm dying, so I can play this recording to guide me? May I record my own voice for myself to listen when I'm dying? So, this way, would it create confusion if I'm actually dying or having a dream? Or is it okay to have a family member to record it for me? But if they die first, wouldn't it be strange to hear them talking? Homage to Grandmaster. Thank you. Sure. My answer is that you can record the golden 8 hours of hospice care for yourself when you're dying, and you can play it. But who would play it? That's the question. That's the question. Who would play the recording? You have to instruct people that when I'm dying, I want to play this for myself to listen. Actually, there's one thing for Grandmaster. I'm doing it every night. Preparation to pass away, to be reborn in the Pure Land. Every night when I get on bed, I would chant, to be reborn in the Pure Land, to transcend life and death, to leave behind suffering. Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. To take refuge in Amitabha Buddha, which is the guiding Buddha. Every night, just before I sleep, this is what I would say. Being reborn in the Pure Land, transcending life and leaving suffering. Namo Amitabha. I chant it every day. And at the moment of death, I would also say the same. Namo Amitabha, to be reborn in the Pure Land, transcending life and leaving suffering. Nothing else. Every night when I get on bed, the first sentence. So actually, every day I am preparing myself to be reborn in the Pure Land. And Lian Hua Jiayu was also thinking about being reborn in the Pure Land. he or she did not write the age, but it's good for you to have such thought. Yes, you can do the golden 8 hours of hospice care for yourself. You record it and play it for yourself. Then you would be able to invoke the Buddha to guide you. The next question by Siji from Indonesia. Junaidi, homage to Grandmaster. I read Vasubandhu Bodhisattva biography. Vasubandhu practiced Usnisha Vijaya Buddhamada Dharma and attained self-mastery in choosing his own date and time for his death. When he felt that it was time, he chanted Usnisha Dharani backward 3 times, and then he passed away. Usnisha Dharani can assimilate the power of life of the universe, and reciting it backward symbolizes returning the life to the universe. True Buddha School has the evading and concealing mantra or repellent mantra, and one of them is Usnisha Vijaya Buddhamada. Is this contrary to what the patriarch Vasubandhu was doing, that reciting a mantra backward is protective for us? Thank you, Grandmaster. Wish you peace and health. We often mention several great bodhisattvas. Nagarjuna Bodhisattva, and Aryadeva Bodhisattva. We know Nagarjuna and Aryadeva. There are 2 very important dharma in Buddhism. One is Madhyamaka, which was established by Nagarjuna Bodhisattva and Aryadeva. Through the Madhyamaka methods, one can have attainments. And the next one is Yogacara, Maitreya Bodhisattvas, which are Asanga and Vasubandhu. So this mentioned Vasubandhu. So there are 2 methods in Buddhism, Madhyamaka and Yogacara. And you can combine Madhyamaka and Yogacara. So Tantrayana is the combination of both Madhyamaka and Yogacara. And Asanga's brother is Vasubandhu. Vasubandhu and Asanga were brothers. And he mentioned about Vasubandhu Bodhisattva biography. Vasubandhu, which was Asanga's brother. Usnisha Vijaya Buddhamada Dharma. When he was passing, he chanted Usnisha Dharani backward 3 times. Usnisha Dharani can assimilate the power of life of the universe, and reciting it backward symbolizes returning the life to the universe. That's the evading and concealing mantra. Repelling it, returning it. Because whether you are Madhyamaka or Yogacara, the most important is the purity. Ultimately, in Yogacara, is the immaculate consciousness. No contaminants. And the same with Madhyamaka. Ultimately, it's also doing purification. To purify what? Purify our own karma. Once we purify our own karma, then the repelling or returning mantra is to make ourselves to be completely pure, completely purified, that I have nothing. I comply with the emptiness. Then you can be reborn when you are completely purified. The so-called eyes, nose, ears, tongue, body, and mind, and the mind consciousness, or the root of the mind, or alaya, which is the 8th consciousness, and the 9th consciousness is the immaculate consciousness. There's no contaminants whatsoever, completely immaculate or purified. So the repelling or returning mantra is to return everything to the universe. Then you become completely empty, empty nature. Then you have attainment. You need to understand the meaning. So this repelling mantra is not necessarily to repel it to other people, but you can return it to the universe, that you are completely immaculate, completely pure. Then it would be about the same as the sage. Completely the same as the sages. When you are completely pure sage, then of course you would have attainment. No contradiction. So the repelling or returning mantra is to return, to become completely purified. You think that there's a contradiction here, but actually there is no contradiction. We return to Ushnisha Dharani, to Ushnisha Vijaya Buddha Mother, because you're already completely purified. You don't need the Ushnisha Dharani anymore. When you're completely purified, you don't need anything anymore. The same in Madhyamaka, the same for Yogacara. Same for Madhyamaka and Yogacara. They're all for complete purification. For purification. So Vasubandhu Bodhisattva returned Ushnisha Dharani to Ushnisha Vijaya Buddha Mother because he's been completely purified. When Grandmaster chant hiking Kuan Yin Sutra, I can chant it forward or backward. The 8 great Bodhisattvas. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Manjushri Bodhisattva, Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, Maitreya Bodhisattva, Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, Akasagarbha Bodhisattva.
然后这个我这样念就比较念不太来，我都念台语的。
I usually chant in Taiwanese. So in Mandarin, the family of Reverend Lian Qi are here. They're from Taiwan, most of them. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Maitreya Bodhisattva, Samatha Bodhisattva, Vantushri Bodhisattva, Akasaka Bodhisattva, Japani Bodhisattva, Siddhika Bodhisattva, Muskami Bodhisattva. So chanting it in Mandarin Chinese would not go so smoothly. So the 8 great bodhisattvas, right? And after chanting the 8 great bodhisattvas, sometimes I chant it after the karma eradication mantra. And then and chant. I chant it backward sometimes. Because chanting it forward is the same as chanting it backward. By chanting it backward, you would memorize it even better. So all good thing. No contradiction. Let me share a few jokes. The wife told the wife, I ate too much spicy food, so I have acne on my chin. And the wife said, oh, let me see which layer. Actually, it's the wife that told the husband. So which layer, of course. The wife didn't like hearing that. The bat showed his love to the white crane. Why did you reject me? And the white crane replied, I don't mind that you're dark, but usually the one that loves to go out at night are not the good bird. It's the same as what's written in Genesis. God created day and night. Daytime is when we are in actions, and nighttime is for resting. And there are 7 days in 1 week. And one day, which is Sunday, God takes a rest. So it's called the resting day, Sunday. So there are 7 days in 1 week when God created heaven and earth. And He works from the 1st to the 6th day. He only rests on the 7th day. So we should not do things on Sundays. It should be a resting day. Xiaoming asked God, talking about God, How could I like my wife? She had no figure, no money, and no brain. And God replied, if she had everything, she wouldn't want to be with you.
真的，我们人生啊，就是迷糊的时候啊。
In human life, that's the thing. You make a mistake when you're bedazzled, when you're.
所以我们要学习智慧，智慧。
confused
我们信仰也是一样
or muddle-headed.
要有
That's
智
why
慧
we want to learn or we want to
你没有智
study
慧的
the
信仰
wisdom.
就是迷。
The same thing in our faith. You have to have wisdom in your faith, otherwise it would be
迷
a
的时候啊
superstition.
你就选错。
Then, when you are
所以
just
一切
in a
都
trance,
是智慧。
then you would make a mistake. So everything is
跟
about
大家
wisdom.
讲到过哈。
Now we will
现
expound on
教
Lamdre.
是集摄本颂、颂吟、密咒等，非还天，偏入天。
Now it is the instruction on the ultimate assimilation of the verse in quote secret mantra, etc. The secret refers to the realm of non-Brahman Deva, Vishnu Deva, Mahaswara Deva, and the otherworldly Sravakas and Pryatrikas. The mantra means one recites inner blessings quickly and ability to provide salvation. The verse in quotes Vajrayana, end quote, refers to the path of one's own body, speech and mind, together with the 3 Vajra fruits with no difference. The verse in quotes the empowerment of cause, path and fruit, end quote. This means that the empowerment at the causal position is obtained at the Guru's place. The empowerment at the path position is obtained by one's own practice of 4 sittings, etc. And the empowerment at the fruit position is obtained through merging with the 4 cultivations. The verse in quotes fake establishment based on differentiating, end quote, refers to the worldly path. The verse in quotes to prove non-differences, end quote, refers to the out-of-worldly path. The verse in quotes the revelation of wisdom, end quote, refers to the wisdom of all the revealed fruit, which is also by distinguishing and establishing all kinds of appearances and their natures to realize and prove the dual execution of the undifferentiated emptiness of self-nature and the dispositional nature that is revealed by wisdom. So the verse is what the verse in the Vajragata of Lamdre. So the verse and in quotes secret mantra. The secret refers to the realm of non-Brahma Deva, Vishnu Deva, Mahaswara Deva, and the out-of-world Sravakas and Pratikas. So secret mantra was talking to the Brahman Deva. In Thailand, there was a Brahma or the 4-faced Buddha. Brahma and Vishnu and Mahaswara, which is Shiva. These are the Hindu 3 major gods who are there, enshrined there. The 3 deities at the top. In the middle is Vishnu, Vishnu,
这个红色 红色跟白褐的那个是大梵天。
The red one on the white crane, that's Brahma.
是黑色的。
And the black one is Shiva. They are the three major gods of Hinduism. They are devas. At the center is Vishnu. The one with long beard is Brahma. And the one with the leg lifted is Shiva. And at the center is Vishnu. The so-called secret mantra is the highest. So the mantras are secret, and it is not Brahma, Vishnu, or Shiva. And it's also not Shravakas. So Shravakas are arhats. They only train themselves. It's only for the out-of-worldly purposes or attainments, not for the worldly purposes. So they will not be able to understand secret mantras. And pratikas or solitary realizers, they train according to the nidasa, the 12 causes and conditions. And they also not. That's why it's called secret.
这是秘密的密，咒者乃内在速得加持，且能救护之意。我们念咒，
The mantra means one receives inner blessings quickly,
得利，别人也得利。
and one is able to provide salvation. So by chanting mantra, we benefit ourselves and others.
你得到加持，同时也能够救别人。念咒也能够救别人。
So the mantra, because of the mantra, we receive blessings ourselves and also to help others. So today, we chant
Om Betza Sato Hom. Om Betza Sato Hom.
Om Betza Sato Hom can help others. What can it do? It can lessen your afflictions and worries, to eradicate your bad lucks, and to eliminate your karma. You can chant it and obtain it yourself, or you can use the broom to help others, to eliminate their worries and afflictions, to eliminate their bad lucks, and to eliminate their karma. So if you want to buy the broom, you have to find the person responsible for the Tribhuda Prajna website, or TB Boye, and she has big brooms, medium brooms, and small brooms. Many different brooms. I want to sweep my own karma. I have heavy karmic sicknesses. The same with Sakyamuni Buddha. Also have heavy karma, and this is the small broom. It's good for the nose. So it's to sweep it clean. So the meaning of this broom is to sweep away the karmas so that we become purified. Lao Tzu said,
我今天如师尊也讲了这一句话。今天我的麻烦就在我有这个身体。
All problems stem from the body. The same with Grandmaster Lu. All my troubles come from the bodies. Because we have bodies, that's why we have sicknesses. Once you die, you have no more illnesses. Toothache. If you die, the teeth last longest. And doesn't matter how long you keep it, there would be no germs. The teeth stay teeth for thousands of years. And because of us, we have toothache. So without these bodies, there are no pains and no illnesses. So in human life, what is the most suffering? It's being sick. Dying is not suffering. When Jesus was crucified on the cross, of course, that's suffering. He was bleeding. But there was a Roman soldier who used a spear to step on Jesus to lessen his pain and suffering. In Catholic churches, there was a statue of that Roman soldier because he helped end the suffering of Jesus. Death is not suffering, but the dying moment is suffering. Like lying on the sick bed before dying, that's suffering. Seriously speaking, Jesus was also my guru. I've said it. He taught several very good teachings. He spoke on the Buddhist three wheels are intrinsically empty. Don't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing, what good deeds the right hand is doing. So you don't keep them in mind. You do it, and then you forget about it. You don't take it and make it known. So the Buddhist three wheels are intrinsically empty is the same as Jesus' teaching, to not let the left hand know what good deeds the right hand is doing. Jesus also said, if someone slapped your right cheek, you give your left cheek. That's compassion. He has no hatred or resentment. And lastly, he spoke to God. They do not know what they're doing. People make mistakes because they do not know. That's why I said that Jesus is my guru. We also have a statue of Jesus Christ here. In the past, Grandmaster was a Christian, and several teachings that Jesus taught was extremely excellent. Climbing the mountains, and he exhibited 10 great miracles. So Vajrayana refers to the path of one's own body, speech and mind together with the 3 Vajra fruits with no differences. So to purify is to purify your body, speech and mind, your thoughts, body and speech. The same with the 3 Vajra fruits. So, with no differences. Jesus also said that I am the way, I am the guiding light. At the verse, the empowerment of cause, path and fruit. So the empowerment at the causal position has to be conferred by the root guru with the 3 virtues and 4 merits. So I've said that at the causal position, it's the empowerment given by the mundane guru to let you enter onto the Tantra vehicle. But the true empowerment is when you do the Dharma practice, your Yidam descends and confers empowerment upon you. That's the empowerment at the path position. And the empowerment at the fruit position is obtained through merging with the 4 cultivations. And which 4 cultivations? We know the 4 kinds of cultivations. One is on the path of merit accumulation, accumulating merits, preliminary practices, seeing the path, practicing the path, and the ultimate path. If you have reached the ultimate path, you can eliminate it. So the former 4 are the path of merit accumulation, and we already talked about the heavenly merits, the preliminary practices path, the path of preliminary practices, and seeing the path, which means you have gained enlightenment, and eventually you comprehend the truth of the heavens and the world. And the next one is the path of practice. That's when the real spiritual cultivation starts. So when you reach the fruit position, that's the ultimate path. The verse, fake establishment based on differentiating, refers to the worldly path. What is worldly path? They are differentiations, and they are falsely established. On the worldly path, you need to do the merit accumulation. On the out of worldly path, you prove there are no differences. When you attain the fruit, the revelation of wisdom is like the wisdom appearing. The wisdom of the revealed fruit, which is also by distinguishing, establishing all kinds of appearances. So for me to expound or explain Lamdre, I have to establish the false in order to give Dharma teaching, otherwise there's nothing to say. And to realize and prove the dual execution of undifferentiated emptiness of self-nature and dispositional nature that is revealed by wisdom. So the empty nature, like we talked about with Vasubandhu Bodhisattva. So he has proved it. So he can return the Ushnisha Dharani to Ushnisha Vijaya Buddha Mother. So to distinguish and establish all kinds of appearances and their natures, to realize and prove the dual execution of emptiness and wisdom. So in the future, to do the skillful means to benefit sentient beings. So the skillful means is the worldly path, and wisdom is the out-of-worldly path. In the world, we use the skillful means to deliver sentient beings, and in the out-of-worldly path, there is no differences. There are no differences, and that is the wisdom. In the kindergarten, the teacher asked Xiaoming, "What is your nickname or kid's name?" Kids, like in Chinese, it's like milk name. And Xiaoming asked, "What is milk name or my baby's name?" It's the name when you're still drinking milk. Well, I don't remember, but I know what my dad's milk name is. That goes in Chinese. It's not so bad. Each one of us will die in the future, right? And after you die, you would have a different name, which is ghost. Once you die, you become a ghost. But if you have cultivated spiritually, it would be different. That if you cultivate spiritually, then you can become a god. You can become a Buddha, or a Bodhisattva, or Pratyeka Buddha, or Arhat, Shravaka. So it's different. But for mundane beings, they all would become ghost, dead ghost. That one day, eventually, you would become dead ghost or ghost. Therefore, we want to be able to transcend, like I said, in our spiritual cultivation, accumulating heavenly merits is spiritual cultivation. And then we execute both the worldly and out of worldly Dharma together.